Hello everybody and welcome back to another week of L2S Tier 2 racing. This week we are at France. So the season so far has been quite up and down for a lot of drivers. However, this week could be a good turning point for a lot of people. We're a fair few rounds in now and it's just a case of waiting to see how people are going to act at round 6. So we've already got someone coming out of the pits. Let's have a nose see who that is. We've got a few people leaving early on. It's not gonna let me see them because they're not officially on tracks. Thank you, Cody's. So the first person we got out is Angry Orange, sporting a very nice black, white and grey livery with a nice blue logo as well, just to split it up a little bit. Got Would You Rather, also on track. It's very similar livery actually, just with a few stripes towards the back. I think Angry Orange got the same one. No different. And Spaceman, what livery is he running? Nice basic livery. Nice black and blue livery actually, with the white overflowing on it. So we've got a nice dry quali starting off with. It's always good to just get the eye in early, probably put a banker in. This track is known quite hard on tyres early on, but it's just while on tracks that it can be a struggle on, especially with track limits. Most importantly, that first sector turns 1 and 2 can be a killer, especially if you catch it wrong. But we are expecting a lot of people to probably go out with soft tyres for 2 stops in the race. Or if you want to take the mediums, you'd be looking at a 1 stop, dependent if there's any safety cars or VSCs. So anyway, as we're on board with Angry Orange here, let's see how he's going to start this lap. Let's go on board for the first lap of the day as well. So nice wide entry to start this lap, pick up the DRS nice and early, picked up a very nice traction there, and move back over to the right hand side now, and pick out your braking points. Handle that very nicely through turns 1 and 2 there. Didn't go run too wide to invalidate his laps, caught perfectly. Just keeping it within track limits on the exit of 5 there. Very nice and tidy indeed. And now down this very long back straight now. Very important to pick out your braking point here because there's a lot of time to be gained and also a lot to be lost if you mess it up. Very nice entry, picked out a perfect braking point from looking at that. We've got a few yellow flags going out on track there, hopefully it's nothing to be too worried about. Just keeping it within track limits there, very tidy lap. Looking at so far from Angry Orange. As he is the first lap, this will definitely see him go P1. So on board for the final 2 corners. Opting to use second gear on the final corner, that's interesting. But he felt he got enough grip, and the first lap is a 28.5. A very good first lap there from Angry Orange. Let's see who else we've got coming towards the end. We've got Spaceman, who's not quite sure if he wants to carry on. He found the pit lane eventually though. We've got G-Mac, who's racing with us this week in a very nice and orange and black livery actually. Not seen that one before, quite unique actually. Just invalidated on the final corner, but we've got Kieran who's also put in a 29.2 in the livery that we seem to come accustomed to now, the pink and black livery. It's what Moshe can pull out of the bag in this final sector. More technical sector than what people think actually, because you need to keep enough tyre temperature in them tyres, especially keeping them cool. going down that back straight, and he's putting a 1:30.8, so I imagine he could be going for another run here, or it's just a banker lap, because he knows he's definitely got more pace underneath than that. So news that we've got Diane, who's put it in P2, 2 tenths off P1. So we've got on a hot lap here, we've got Danny. Let's see how Danny gets on in this nice light blue, medium blue and white livery. Look nice and tidy for the first few turns. Take a slightly wider entry into 3, but it didn't cost him too much. Overall nice and tidy, using all the track available to you to build up that momentum down this back straight. That is key to a good lap here. It looks like he is being very closely followed by, I think that might be your. And Lando thinks that King's Eskimo will be on pole. You've heard it here first. Thank you, Lando. We'll keep out an eye for that. See what Eskimo can put in. As you see, You Funny Bots go into P4 with a 29.9. As we're coming towards the end of the lap and into the final sector now, we've got Danny and Yor. I mean, it looks like Danny might just be holding up Yor just a tiny bit, but there's not too much in it, I don't believe, between these two. Let's see how this final corner goes for him. Man, a little bit deep, but nothing too hard on the tyres in the car. Lando, can we give Shin Deep a shout out? You mean Slayer? Shin Deep. Oh, I've just done it twice for him. Sorry, Slayer. No problem. But as we see, Danny go P6 with a 30.0 and yours done at 1:32 laps. We're starting to get a few more laps from them now. Who've we got on a hot lap? We've got Duncan, who's just started a hot lap. We've got Professor Zoo and PR Oliver, who's also come to the end of the lap. As we see, Duncan again sponsoring the Spider-Man livery. Oh, ran it a little bit deep into turn 3. Might have cost him a couple of attempts there. Hopefully he can keep it together. The 23 flat first sector, a couple of attempts down, what's optimum, but it shouldn't be too hard on the car in terms of time for the rest of the lap, hopefully. He's got enough time to come in if he needs to as well, with 10 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. See how he handles the chicane. Got a perfect cut there. Well, I say cut, just took a perfect amount of curb. It's easy flat that corner in these cars now, isn't it? You don't even have to think about a lift. Car balance seems very nice in that long right hander as well. You can catch a lot of drivers out with oversteer or understeer. Keeping it very nice and tidy there as well, not too much wheel spin. And a nice final couple of corners as well for Duncan. Let's see where this puts him, a 1:30.6. So I think he could be going for another run. We've seen a few people hitting, so I don't know what tyres most people are on actually, it's not too good of me. So you got tyres, we've got Would You Rather who's actually put it in 5th on the mediums. Now that will be very key for the race, as if he's confident he can make a one-stop work, that is definitely going to benefit him. That's 22-23 seconds less in the pit lane than the rest of his rivals, but he will be on the slower tyre come the race. And we see Professor Zoo also puts it into P2, 700ths off Angry Orange's time with a 28.6. It's getting quite nice and close at the top now. So as everyone is, well, most people have actually completed the first runs. We've got Angry Orange on pole, followed by Professor Zoo, followed by Diane, with Kieran, Would You Rather, Spaceman, You Funny Bot, Danny, Yor and Dunkin' Donuts rounded out the top 10, and we've got Mosha, who was the first person outside of the top 10 who can select their starting tyre for the race. As we're on board the G-Mac here, took a very, very nice chicane in the middle of the sector. Hopefully he can gain a little bit of time there. Maybe push himself up the order from P12 after not setting the lap time. Holding it very neat, very good to see. We've got someone just getting out of the way from there. So hopefully he can hold the speed and the momentum. Held it very nice and tight in the final corner. Little wiggle on the exit, that won't do his time any good. But we should see a good lap flying in here now. And Mr. Ballocks seemingly wants an invite. Can't invite because game group is closed. That put GMAC anyway into P5 and 29.4, so a very nice tidy lap as I suspected from him there. Eskimo's put in a lap as well. Looks like he's put a little bit of fuel on again, 44.9. Just trying to get a feel for these tyres. So we've got Mosha also on a hot lap. Or is he on a hot lap or is he coming in? He is on a hot lap indeed. So I think he's definitely up in the Delta here. Very nice run out the final corner as well. Let's see a low 29. 129.5, that puts him all the way up into P6. Interesting that Would You Rather is also changed onto the soft tyres at present on outlaps. Let's see what he can do. Purple middle sector, 8 tenths up. So what does that put him on at the moment? 28.7. He's still a couple of tenths down, but he shouldn't be too far off. Imagine the claw back his way back in. So we see Would You Rather temporarily take top spot off Angry Orange. However, that was very, very quickly sorted, but only half a tenth between them. What could we see for the rest of the session? Maybe into the race as well. This could be a very close battle between these two powerheads, let's say. Very, very close on pace and performance. Space, well, I would say we're going on board Space, he's just invalidated from looking at it. So was Yor, unfortunately. Who's on a hot lap who we can have a nose at? Eskimo. It looks like he might be doing race runs in quali. Which is interesting. Coming into the pit. Let's see who else got PRRs raised invalidated. Elite Dave. Spaceman starting a fresh hot lap. So who've we got on a flyer now? We've got Spaceman. Let's have a He's also invalidated. Okay, you funny bots. We have got a hot lap of him, 4 seconds down. It looks like he's going to be gearing up for a hot one. Let's go on board into the final sector. Let's hope he's got enough fuel on board actually. Let's have a quick look. You can just see it on the wheel actually, can. Just below the lap count, you can see how much fuel people have still got. So look, oh, we did have enough fuel to go again, but he's elected not to. That's interesting. See if we've got. So Spaceman might have enough fuel to go again. Let's see what Spaceman can do now on his opening lap to this hot lap. Nicely kept, slight mistake there, but didn't get an invalidation more importantly, which is very key. And he managed to pull just a slight invalidation, which is very unfortunate for him. So let's go on board with Vure. Let's see what time he can put in. Can he beat his 1 minute 30.4? It's not only so we can try and start on these mediums, but get in the top 10. Just over a tenth, or under a tenth off. Very close and unfortunate for him. So let's see who else we have going on another hot lap at the moment. We've got Mosha, he's currently 8 tenths up on his personal best. Coming down onto the back straight now. Braking nice and late for that chicane there. You can see them brakes working very hard there, glowing orangey red. We're coming to the end of the second sector now, and he's found a little bit more time. He's 1.5 tenths up on his personal best, so it would definitely move him up a position. If he can find some more time in his final sector, it will put him more comfortable and less at risk from people outside the top 10 who could opt to go for the soft tyre still. Kept it nice and tight through the penultimate corner and just clipping the apex of the final corner absolutely perfectly. And taking the shortest route to the line, and his time is a 1 minute 29.3, so it did move him up a position. He's got 7 tenths buffer to, well, 8 tenths to who is in 11th. That should be enough to get him through safely into the top 10, as that was his final lap. It went that quick, the session, didn't realise he was actually at the end. But G-Mac, he managed to move himself back up into 7th. Who've we got on a hot lap? You funny bot. No, not you funny bots. Would you rather can't improve? We've got Professor Zoom. Is he up on his delta lev? He's 1.5 tenths up. So it's not going to make too much difference, but he will have the confidence going into the race that he can push on that tyre then. As well, it's just the case of trying to be comfortable with the car and with the tyre. If you're not comfortable around a track like this, you can soon lose positions, as we've seen many times in the past. Kept it nice and tight and nice, late apex penultimate corner, picking up the perfect apex of the final one. Then all the way to the left, minimise the amount of meters you've got to do. Oh, and he puts it on pole. What a great lap there from Professor Zoom. 3 cars all with a 1 minute 28.3. So our front row, from looking at it, everyone has finished. Got Professor Zoom on pole, followed by Angry Orange. On the second row, we've got Would You Rather and You Funny Bot. That was a great lap there to end quali with. as we can now see the official order of the grid. We've got Youth Honey Bots in P4, Diane and Kieran sharing the third row, with G-Mac and Moshe sharing the fourth. The Spaceman and Danny round out the top 10. The first person who tried to do it on mediums was Yor and Eskimo. They're the two people who tried to go on mediums. Fortunately, it didn't work out for them. P11 and P13. And we've got Duncan, who tried to go on the soft tyre in P12. So them guys should definitely be looking towards a one-stop strategy, I would imagine, starting on that medium tyre, because the softs will go off quite quick here, about 6 laps at a max push, which is going to be quite tight if you want to make a one-stop work. So as we wait for people to ready up now, we will take a quick short break until until we get underway on the formation lap. So as we get underway for the formation lap, sounds like Professor Zoo trying to lay down an awful lot of rubber there from listening to the graphics, trying to get his tyres into the perfect shape before we get going. So we've got the top 11 starting on soft tyres, but you're more importantly starting on a fresh set. Then from P12 downwards, we've got everyone starting on mediums. With some reason Ballox is racing, but he's definitely shouldn't be. So that might just be a glitch. We'll soon find out when the race starts. But P12, Duncan, he's looking for a good race here. He's had a few good ones in the last few races now. Let's see what he can pull out. And especially with reflection, starting from the back of the grid, he needs a quiet start to the race, really. Keep his nose clear, because we know he's a championship contender. He just needs to keep that nose clean and just work his way forward, because them guys at the front, they will just go off, because they have got the pace to pull away from him. So he needs to keep within 22, 23 seconds. And as we can see there, one stop, medium hard, it should be quicker. Let's go back on board as with Professor Zoo. Seems to pull quite the gap there. We've got everyone else who seem more close together. As we just wait for everyone to crawl back into the grid now. As unfortunately we can't drive our own cars to the grid. Defeats the point a little bit, but we'll let Cody sort that one out. Hopefully for next year's game we might actually be able to drive to the grid. We never know. We've got the front bunch of people are now lining back up on the grid. Let's see how this goes. Very tight but flowing first two corners. Anything is possible here. Let's just wait and see. 5 lights and away we go. It looked like a slow one there from Professor Zoo, as we have seen Angry Orange get the jump on him, immediately going down into turn 1, but he's still got the inside line. And they have made it through clean enough. A little bit of contact, but nothing much. I see Youth Honey Bots and Diane going side by side. Very crucial for positions this is, as it does seem we have got a few yellow flags going off behind, but hopefully everyone's got through unscathed there. We've got no safety car yet, more importantly, with no yellow flags. That is great to see. Could we see a move possibly going down to here? No, hold position. Keep it nice and tidy. Oh, and seems to have been a spin, might have been a little bit of contact there. Youth1bot had lost the rear of the car and sent it round, and back of the pack he goes. So we have got Eskimo, who's actually had a little bit of a shocker start, but keeping his nose clean early on, which is key. Sitting in behind Spaceman, always looked to go, oh, Spaceman actually got damaged. So quick look, his right hand side end plate has disappeared. So we've got Youth1bot, as we know, he's had quite a problematic first lap. He's one person who's going to be looking to get back into it for this race. And the front two did not change positions on that lap. We've got a few people pitting actually. We've got L2S and Spaceman. Youth1bot, he's picked up some of them positions now. Just ahead of him is Reflection. Managed to pick up 4 positions on the opening lap. That is very important for his race if he wants to be able to push into that top 10 and keep hold of some very crucial points for the championship. At the moment, I do believe that Reflection is leading the championship with 101 points, and Professor Zoo is 27 points behind. So this will have a massive implication on that championship lead. It will put it right down. It won't change it, but it will put it down. And P3 in the championship, Youth1bot, he's got a little bit unlucky there, but he's definitely got the pace to claw his way back. Let's see if Reflection can put any pressure on Duncan ahead. Let's see if he can make the move, more importantly, for the sake of his race. They're both on the same tyre strategy. There's no tyre advantage at this stage. But it looks like he's definitely shaping them up for a few moves here. And Duncan's took a very wide line going defensive into the final corner, but is allowing Youth1bot now to get straight back into their rear. Not what either of them wanted. Youth1bot has also made a move on Duncan. Two positions lost potentially in the space of 400 metres. Duncan, that was not ideal. If you've got another pitter, that is Danny's put on the mediums. Elite Dave put on the hards, and Spaceman put on the mediums, and people put on the first one. Let's have a little look further forwards, as we've got a great battle brewing for the lead here between Angry Orange and Professor Zoom. Angry Orange managed to hold that lead off. He did just get ahead temporarily, looking at time and graphics, but he just had to back off there. And we see further back, Youth1bot has managed to make the move on Reflection as well. So those two need to work together now to overcome that gap ahead as they're battling. They've definitely got the pace to claw all the way back into it. The Youth1bot did actually end up ceding a position to Reflection again. Looks like on the exit of the chicane area in the middle sector, but they're both closing in on the top 9, with Professor Zoo coming into the pit with a very early pit stop. Could be looking for the undercut on Angry Orange. So it could be a stop that could get in P1 here, but with heavier tyre wear, that won't be ideal for his race towards the end. And look at Reflection, he's managed to get them tyres up and fully working now as he's starting to pull away from Youth1bot. Could be the dirty air on. I don't think Reflection's got DRS off PR Oliver. So we could be seeing a change for P9 here, guys. Youth1bot looks to be shaping it up. Will he look to the inside? He most certainly is. Will he make the move? And yes, he does, as we see Spaceman set the fastest lap of the race and getting past Elite Dave at the same time, going at turn 1 from the looks of things. But as we see the front guys slowly starting to separate out. We've got G-Mac on his first race in Tier 2 this season with us. He's doing well up in P5, following Kieran. And I think we've got a couple of people coming into the pits now. That's G-Mac and Diane coming into the pits with Angry Orange and Would You Rather, and let things stay out. These guys are going to be looking to extend as far as they can. I think they've got to. Professor Zoo's almost caught Eskimo as well on mediums, which won't be the best of Eskimo's race. However, Eskimo knows he is on a one stop, so he can make it work to his advantage. As we're seeing, PR Oliver looks like the closest battle at the moment, apart from the race leaders, but we are expecting them two to come in pretty soon. We've got PR Oliver on their medium tyres, shaping up a move to the inside of Mosher. Fairly simple move, got it all done for the braking zone. Let's see how much pace PR Oliver's now got. He's on pressure mediums. However, I don't think he'll catch him in time before he pits, so we could be looking at our next race leader here, who is only doing one stop, barring any troubles out on track. We've still got Reflection and Funny Bot really close together, and the leaders are pitting, as I suspected. Angry Orange and Would You Rather. We've got Kieran going out for another lap, and you're going out for another lap. We've got Mosher. Yeah, Mosher's coming into the pits. So we've got 3 of the 5 bunch guys coming into the pits now. What will this do for tyre strategy? Especially for the guys behind us. We do know that Professor Zoo has already pitted for that medium tyre. He's done pretty comfortably. Very comfortably. And he's got a perfect blocker car in between Eskimo from the start of the race. That won't make Angry Orange happy. And again, he's got a blocker car to Would You Rather as well. That has worked out, I say a blocker car. Diane just pulled off the perfect strategy just to pull his way back into his Angry Orange. Found a little bit more than a lot there. He was checking out Eskimo's gearbox a little bit, I think. Keeping it nice and clean, these guys here. Just what we love to see. And Diane is losing very low on ERS, which is, I believe we will lose a bit of time to these guys, but so is Angry Orange now. Could be turned to a battle of attrition just on the ERS. It doesn't look like he can turn it off actually. Oh, he can. He might have just forgot about it maybe. Let's go with that story. As we see Reflection, Graphic sorted itself out, but Yuri, Kieran and Funny Bots all into the pits, with G-Mac picking up a penalty. You're going to fire out. So, obviously that will help out them guys humongously. So the gap to the leader for the first pitter is, well, it was around 11 seconds. And we know that these guys have got to pit again. All of them have got to pit again. So we could see Would You Rather make a move on Professor Zoo. However, if Professor Zoo isn't putting them soft tyres on at the end, he's not going to want to give up track position just that easily, I don't think. And I don't see why the VSD's out. Got Dunkin' Donuts speeding in the pit lane, 5 second time penalty, pretty slam dunk that. And Spaceman has got a 3 second time penalty as well for multiple warnings. Let's have a look at the penalty situation so far then, as we We're probably not too far from getting underway now. I think we might be. It might just be the game. We are back underway, and Mosher's got a drive through. Oh, that was not ideal for his race. So we've got Kieran and Duncan both in 5 seconds, and G-Mac and Spaceman both in 3 seconds apiece as well. So the gap between top 3 is 8.5 seconds. The gap between the top 2 is 2.7, but the battle we're focusing on here is ultimately for the people who were leading this race. Professor Zoo and Would You Rather, and Would You Rather's making a move straight away for that. What was P1 but P3 now on the road. These guys need to catch up to the front 2 very quickly if you want any hope of staying in this race, especially in chance for the podium and the win, because a lot can change yet in these closing laps. Not quite close enough DRS, I don't believe. But Professor Zoo and Angry on Would You Rather. Oh, we did get it. Let's see what Angry Orange can pull off here on here. See if we can sneak that P5 position. This is 4 position, guys. Everyone has now pitted unless your name is SMS. PR, Oliver and Reflection. We often see a few guys do the opposite strategy early on, push to one stop, and today is no different whatsoever. Makes for an exciting race just at the end of the races, last 2-3 laps, and that's what we're going to see again today. Would You Rather is seemingly just gaps Professor immediately, like he's not messing about here at all. I mean, what's that current gap? 1.5 seconds, 1.6, 1.6. It's just climbing by the seconds, and with the fastest lap, you can have set his sights firmly on the championship leader. In P2. Kieran and G-Mac found themselves in a nice little position here. Not too much trouble in front or behind. But the closest battle, as we know, is this one at present. Angry Orange is chasing down Diane, and Diane's just out of DRS of Professor Zub, and with Angry Orange being 7 tenths behind, we could see a second full move here. Just not quite close enough. As we see Danny pick up a penalty, multiple violations of some sort, whether that's track limits or collisions. Very defensive. Will Angry Orange go round the outside? Oh, he's lost it! Very unfortunate there from Angry Orange. Very, very unfortunate. He's managed to recover the car. Hope he's got no damage. And that slotted him back into P9, just behind Yor. So that from Angry Orange was not quite ideal. So we've got the top 3. PR Oliver yet to pit. We've got Reflection yet to pit. Keep a nice constant gap of between 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds, and the Angry Orange speeding into the pit lane out of frustration of the error. And Would You Rather, I don't even know what happened there. It's just completely lost it. I think he might have lost out turn 2 maybe. I'm trying to look at the challenges now. So the new top 3 is PR Oliver, Reflection and Professor Zib. All of these guys are on the medium tyre. The front 2 are yet to pit, along with Eskimo. So it's looking in very good position for Professor Zoo to maybe start clawing back some points on the championship leader maybe. It won't be many if Reflection can keep up that strong pace that he's shown already. The Angry Orange has picked up a time penalty as well of just a couple of seconds again. So the question is, how can we see Would You Rather force his way back through the field? I thought it seems to be a costly mistake filling out on the exit of turn 2, getting on that curb in and just losing the rear. There's nothing much you can do in that scenario. We do have a battle also just behind these guys with Eskimo and you funny bots, very close together, and Kieran versus Diane again as well. See if we've got coming into the pits, but would you rather? He's probably wanting to get rid of that tyre as quick as he can now after that costing mistake, and potentially putting on the medium tyre. Going to the end, 16 laps. It's going to be tough on the tyres. But will we see a change for P4 here? Kieran's got the ERS on full deploy mode. He's got the DRS on. He managed to make the move very comfortably in the end, just about cutting just in front of Diane, making the move stick. Can he start chasing down Professor Zoom now? The top guys are starting to come together a little bit more now on track. So could we see PR Oliver's tyres just struggling a little bit to hold on? Potentially. We've got King's Eskimo, who's very close to you funny bots. I don't think he'll hold on though, just with that 10 lap old tyre versus the 4 lap old. 6 laps difference is quite a lot around here. So we could see him struggle to hold on, but he's still on for a good race here, King's Eskimo. Keep it nice and tidy, nice and clean, and more importantly, he's not getting into any battles that he doesn't need to get into, because they can destroy your race in a heartbeat. See if we've got battling slightly further back. Looks like we've got Spaceman and Angry Orange close on track. But I think that gap could extend out a little bit of Angry Orange being on fresher tyres. However, he is on the harder compound. The Spaceman on mediums. And Woods, Angry Orange on the hards. Very weird there from Angry Orange, must say. Losing the position. Reflection's starting to close up a little bit now. Starting to take a couple of attempts here, a couple of attempts there, each lap. We're on board with Euro at the moment, sitting pretty comfortably in P7. Looking to go to the end. How close is he to the race? York could be in contention for the race win here. When his tyres go to general 15 laps, 20 laps. He might be able to go to the end. That's a might. And we've got the first of the non-stoppers, let's say, coming into the pits. We've got Reflection hitting now, so that sees Professor Zoo take over P2 in the race. Back to where he was. But by the time he got the drag down to turn 1, as you see Reflection take that hard tyre. How far back is he going to drop? Near King's Eskimo, I would imagine. Just in front, just behind. Let's have a look. Just behind him. However, he is on fresh hards. He can go to the end. 14 laps should be no problem for this hard tyre. That now opened up the undercut against PR Oliver. That's the big question. So we're going to go on board. Ooh, we've got a yellow flag out. Would you rather has lost it as well? Something weird's going on for the main guys in the championship here. We're just hitting the pressure. 10-second time penalty for that is taking the mick a little bit, Codemasters. So if we're on board with Reflection now, we're going to bridge that gap to King's Eskimo. We'll already seeing the move here, going down into the flat out right hander. Not quite, but he is closing. He is closing. Eskimo managed to cover off the move. This is key for the race. This could decide the race. With Reflection struggling to get past Eskimo at the first time of asking. this could stop Reflection's undercut potential on PR Oliver. If I was PR Oliver, I'll be looking to pull into the pits this lap. As we see Eskimo move well out the way now for Reflection, letting him just go by, and let's see what he can do. So the gap to the leader is now 26.5 seconds. That's a very tough ask. As we see, would you rather pick up another penalty going into the pits, and it looks like he has DNF into the pits as well. That would be the end of his race. Hopefully we won't see a VSC or safety car, but we're starting to see the gap between the front guys close up again now. That's the zone is slotted in very nicely to where Reflection was in terms of the time delta to PR Oliver. Can we see that gap close more before PR Oliver pits? I would say probably not. I think PR Oliver will be coming into the pits this lap. He is losing quite a bit of time now for the cars behind. Is he staying out for another? Most certainly is. Risky strategy. We've got Kieran who's coming into the pits now. So it's not got too many close battles out on track. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. We've got Diane on 3 seconds off in P3. We've got G-Mac with 3 seconds as well. Justin behind him. We've got Yor on 3 seconds. You Funny Bots on 3 seconds. And then down to P10 with Danny, who's on 6. Moshe, it was the car ahead of Angry Orange in the battle that we're looking at the moment, on 13 seconds worth of time penalties. That's going to hurt him massively in this race. Angry Orange is on 8, Spaceman is on 3, and Dunkin' Donuts is the last of the penalty takers with 8 seconds to his name. But Angry Orange starting to get very close now to the back of Moshe. Is he going to set him up for a move down the back straight here? I believe so. We've got Professor Zoo and PR Oliver. He's very close together now on track. Just as small as the gap that we're watching now. Has Moshe got enough straight line speed? He certainly has. More confident on the brakes there with Angry Orange. With that fresher hard tyre. PR Oliver stayed out again. So he's definitely not looking to put that hard tyre on. I can confidently say that. Where's Professor Zoo going to blow out into? Here's Reflection, the person that he's battling for P2 in this race. And he's got him. Very comfortably. Very, very comfortably indeed. And with Professor Zoo being on that quicker, fresher, medium tyre, Reflection's going to have to dig really deep now to find that time to claw it back. As we know, PR Oliver is definitely going to have to go into them soft tyres, I feel now. 11 laps remaining, another 3 laps in that medium. He's pushing it. But he did do a very similar strategy here last season in L2S Tier 2 as well. That actually helped him to win the race by pulling off that style of strategy. Just like Elite NL Dave's cars, ghosted, which isn't ideal for these cars here, but making light work of them. So we've got G-Mac, who's all over the back of King's Eskimo now. Eskimo with a lot more ERS on. Eskimo, it looks like he's copying the PR Oliver strategy. As our race leader now finally pit after 15 long laps from the very start of the race on that soft tyre and the medium tyre side. Eskimo ran a little bit wide and G-Max managed to sneak through. You see PR Oliver come out onto that soft tyre. Professor Zoo's got him, Reflection's got him. That was not ideal for his strategy. But with them soft tyres, can he make it to the end? I don't think he'll make it to the end comfortably. But he's going to be definitely the guy to watch now. With that quickest tyre on the car, he should be able to snatch fastest lap. And that's the point. Can he bridge that gap up to the top 3 potentially? As it looks out, Yor is definitely going to be staying out, and he's got a nice taste of gap in fact as well. So he's pulled off a very, very clever strategy there. I believe pitting under the VSC helped him gain them few seconds that he needed to stay ahead of these guys. And as we see, Reflection getting passed by PR Oliver. What a great move by PR Oliver there, round the outside on our championship leader. What an absolutely great move there. We've got Youth Running Bots and Diane both coming into the pits. That now leads new race leader Yor in P1. How much time we did? User 3 seconds. We need to keep that gap above 2 seconds. That's tough. That's a big ask. Fresh tyres against old hards. Good luck. He's going to need a little bit of luck there. He should find himself on the podium still potentially though, with 9 laps remaining. But Diane, he's also caught the back of Reflection fairly sharpish here. I see, would you rather leave the session? With Reflection showing his intentions early, that potential manoeuvre. Can these guys make it through the chicane nice and tidy? Very comfortably indeed. Let's use Reflection slip down to P5. A damage limitation race though for Reflection. Starting at the very back, all the way up to P5. The strategy's worked off so far for him. Can he hold on to P5 now? The people on fresher tyres behind, and the quicker compounds as well. Who else have we got nice and close on track? We've got Spaceman closing on King's Eskimo, who's now pitted for the soft tyres, finally. So we should see King's Eskimo start to hopefully close upon Danny, hopefully make a move as well for P11. Won't quite be the top 10, but you never know. Safety car comes out around the app, the race has changed. And these front, well, the 3rd and 4th are starting to close up on Professor Zun, and in turn they're closing up quite quickly on Yor. That'd be an interesting one. Oh, we've got G-Mac who's spun it on the exit of turn 2, I believe. Yes indeed, slots back in behind Angry Orange into P9. That won't do his tyres any good, especially with one being that fresh. He's probably just used up the goodness in them just by spinning out there, unfortunately. Let's see if he can catch back up now. Towards the front, we're starting to see Diane just slowly but surely closing in on PR Oliver. Now we know PR Oliver's got no penalties, but it's going to be a tough ask for them to manage to clinch the win, especially with Yor, who's seemingly pretty comfortable here, but with Professor Zoo also in turn closing that gap to the race leader. We're going to get some very close battles here. There's a change for P12 and P13, so it looks like Spaceman has managed to get past King's Eskimo there. It looks like it was on the back straight with the assistance of DRS. Made the move going into the chicane. So the deltas are coming down, but they're also a little bit stable as well. But as it stands, Yor is now in P2. Professor Zoo is in 3 seconds. There's the gap there, you can physically see it between the two cars. Not much, and Diane's just missed out on the DRS as well, but he is the both low on ERS. That's going to cost him quite a lot each lap actually in reality. If the Eskimos made the move back on Spaceman, great battle, let's go down to it. A little bit of hesitation there from Spaceman on the throttle, but nevertheless managed to get past King's Eskimo. However, Eskimo should have the DRS again if he can stay within a second here to get back past on this back straight. Oh, I think he's just dropped out. He has lost half a second in that section, and it's just hurt him touch too much. But you see Diane's now closed up within a second of PR Oliver. If you hear that beep, it allows the driver behind, who is within 1 second of the car ahead, open up that rear wing to give them a little bit extra top speed, and that's exactly what these guys are going to do now to hopefully work together and move the way forward to the front two, create a very close battle for the race lead and battle for the lead on the final lap potentially. Is he close enough to make the move 3/4, 7/10? It might just be a little bit too far back, but he can definitely start shaping up the move for the next lap. That's your front four all in one shot there, guys. Nothing between them. 4.5 seconds. So a race win for these guys is definitely still on. If Professor Zoo gets a penalty, that'll put PR Oliver pretty much into the race lead. He just needs to find 9/10. I think that's what he's focusing on here. Reflection behind, settling for P5 looking at it. Let's go back on board with the P4 driver. And let's see if he can shape it and move up. Oh, and yours pitting. I was not expecting that at all. That's definitely mixed up the race now then. So PR Oliver is indeed in that P2. With Diane now up to P3 and Professor Zoo taking the race lead. He's not on that favoured tyre. But with PR Oliver being on that soft tyre, another 5 laps, 10 laps in total, the tyres are going to be screaming to get off that car. He's going to have to treat them like he has to actually pay for them, like what Danny Ricciardo's had to do many times in the past, taking care of them tyres in his career. Let's go on board again. Can he make the move 6 this time? Not quite. See how to think about it. Wasn't quite close enough done. That brought Euro into P7. 5 seconds behind, so you're 4 seconds ahead, in a very nice position to potentially get back up to P5 if he's got the raw pace. The tyre needs to switch on immediately though for him, as we're sticking with this podium battle for P2 here. Now PR Oliver could be smart about it and just let him go. You know his driver behind's got a penalty. So if he can just use the DRS stop him, he can pull himself back up instead of having to use his tyres and his ERS, as you can see, just to pull the gap. As the Angry Orange has picked up as penalty is 14th seconds worth in this race as well. That's going to push him right down. It'll put him in P9 still, but that's not quite ideal for his race. Duncan has also got himself another penalty as well. Doesn't quite look like that he's got the overspeed to catch and pass PR Oliver. But has he noticed that they catch up to Professor Zoom? That's the interesting thing. I mean, these guys' fast laps are pretty similar, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them slowly come up to the back, but I wouldn't expect them to have the pace to outright do Professor Zoo here. That soft tyre is going to start dropping off in the next lap, maybe 2 laps. Professor Zoo still have more in his back pocket with that tyre, and we could see a three-way battle for the lead as we see Angry Orange taking a very weird line and approach, potentially getting an advantage by running that far wide there as well. Great racing there from these two. Take the exterior shot, let's see if you keep it clean all the way around. And Angry Orange managed to take the inside for that final corner, but G-Mac Christ got a brilliant drive there, as we've seen. You're going post the fastest lap with them fresh soft tyres. This battle looks like it could be setting in towards the end of the race here now. Let's see if Angry Orange can stick within that DRS window. It looks like he'll comfortably be able to do it. He's 3.5 tenths behind, 4 tenths now. Slightly building because of that dirty air coming back off. But as you see, G-Mac having to maybe think about going defensive here. Not considering it. Might be a little bit of contact there, but all good. As we did see PR Oliver and Diane's Delta time come down to virtually nothing there. So, second and third are battling, losing time now to Professor Zoom. If the inside doesn't work, have a look on the outside, and that's exactly what Angry Orange tried to do, but he just couldn't pull it off. Angry Orange get another time penalty. 17 seconds now, that's quite a lot. It's going to push him right back down. He's not even in his own positions actually. So this battle is a little bit of an anticlimactic one here. G-Mac knows he is going to stay ahead of him, but is he going to let him by? That's the question here. Personally, I wouldn't. G-Mac picked up another penalty as well. Starting to get a bit tense here. But as we go back on to P3, PR Oliver's run low on ERS. Oh, is he open up the door enough there? No, PR Oliver managed to sweep back around the outside to keep that position. It looks like Professor Zoo has got enough of a lead now. Say, well, come on guys, chuck what you've got at me now in this final couple of laps, because I've got the tyres to respond. That's certainly what he's doing now, just taking care of them tyres. Obviously Diane have another look down into the first corner. If he wants to put a delta on him, he needs to make the move stick now. And that was an absolutely brilliant move there. Set it up, going up to the inside of turn 1. Made sure PR Oliver had to take the wider line into turn 1, which compromises turn 2 entrance and exit. All it needs to do is break that 1 second window, which is not done, and just pray that PR Oliver is going to lose more time to him. He needs an extra 2 seconds delta to keep that position. Who we had spin there? I believe it's G-Mac. It's unfortunate. He's going to keep P9 though. He's got a nice buffer behind. Who've we got? We've got Yor. We could see Yor close up here onto the back of you funny bot. Yor's on very fresh tyres, so this could be a battle for the final lap here. I don't see this one ending anytime soon. With our race leader currently in the final sector into the penultimate corners. about to start his final lap of the race. Can you get within that second window? I think it might be a little bit too far back. Let's get a little bit further back then to Danny and Spaceman. They're battling for the top 10 positions here. Spaceman in P10, Danny in P11. Angry Orange has left the session. That's interesting internet maybe. It's unfortunate to see. You're lapping another car who's ghosted, who's not here. And we've got PR Oliver, he's managed to get past Diane. So I don't know quite where that happened then, maybe into the chicane. These two have lost an awful lot of delta time now to the race leader. The tyres have hit the cliff, quite literally hit. Not a term we've used often in the recent season's best one, but this battle's going to go right to the line. We're going to go on board with our race leader. He's in the penultimate corner, into the final corner. That is a great race. Started on pole, lost the lead at the start, but he's definitely made amends now by winning the French Grand Prix here, followed by Pierre Oliver, 7 seconds behind pretty much. Diane behind, Reflection, Kieran, You Funny Bot, Your, G-Mac, Angry Orange, who is still a ghost car. I'm not too sure what's going to happen now with the admin with that, if we'd be allowed to keep his position, but that would be looked into afterwards. Potentially internet issues, which is unfortunate. Spaceman, it looks like it's going to take P10. Yeah, Danny's not quite close enough to make anything happen on Spaceman, but he's going to take a strong P11. Mosha, P12. And the final finisher of the race, King's Eskimo down in P13, making the one-stop work for this race today. So we'll get the final classified results in a moment when it loads up, but congratulations to PR Oliver for getting driver of the day. A great battle there on the slight alternative strategy. Made them tyres work to the fullest, which is great to see. The top three receiving the trophies now. A great, hard, well-earned race for all three of them today. Congratulations. So our top three today in the final classified order is Professor Zoo with the win, PR Oliver second, Diane third. That is the top three. And below is Reflection, Kieran, Your, G-Mac, Angry Orange and Spaceman, who are in the top 10. And just behind, King's Eskimos jumped up a lot of positions. So that's what penalty 3 does, guys. It picks you up a lot of positions. He's moved up 2 positions and he was a good bit behind as well. Eskimo P11, Danny P12, Mosha 13th. Oh, that is the lead lap classified runners. And Duncan and Elite Dave both got lapped. And Would You Rather didn't finish the race. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you again hopefully next week. Bye bye.